Hello, and welcome back to another episode of drawing characters no one knows about, but that I'm super attached to. Today's subject is Sara from Mermaid Melody. Yay! Sara is, of course, one of my top favorite characters from Mermaid Melody. She was the eldest mermaid princess of the show, also ruler of the Indian Ocean and keeper of the Orange Pearl. Orange really isn't my favorite color, unless it's Halloween, but my love for her isn't that superficial, okay? I loved her regardless of her flaws. I loved her because of her flaws, okay? She was the one that turned evil. She was the one who joined the villains in their quest for oceanic domination. Also, her songs were they were the best, okay? In the Japanese version, it was Return to the Sea, and it's like, you hear that song, and you just know that this was a woman scorned. Like, you could hear the hatred in this song. And then the Italians, they released like their own songs for this. Her song in the Italian version is it's great too. It's chef's kiss. Her story was that she was born to be the ruler of the Indian Ocean. Everything seemed to be going fine at first until she met Taro Mitsuki. She meets this dude who is, he's just taking a trip to India, and he's an aspiring musician. He really does seem like a nice, decent dude, but in my opinion, he's a little bit bland. It's like we don't know much about his character. All we know is that he likes music. That's it. Music is his life. Which maybe that's why a mermaid would like him. I mean, two mermaids fall in love with him, so. She falls in love with him, he falls in love with her. They promise to be with each other always. She sings for him, he plays the piano for her. I mean, I say he plays the piano, but it's more like he plays the same 7 notes on the piano. Like, let's be honest here. I feel that the musical composers for this show focused more on the songs for the princesses than the song that the composer character is supposed to play. I don't know. That's just me. That's my opinion. Anyways, at one point, one of Sara's subjects gets wind that Sara is in love with a human, and she goes up to meet him and she tells him, "Hey, human, so here's the deal. Your mermaid girlfriend, she's actually royalty, and there's many mer lives that depend on her. So I'm gonna need you to skedaddle, because not only are you a peasant, you're a human, and she is a mermaid princess." Yeah. Taro ends up leaving and decides to never meet Sara because he knows that she has a royal responsibility and he just doesn't want to interfere with that. What nobody involved here counted on was that Sara was a crazy bitch, which I do love about her, okay? Here on this channel, we protect women's rights and women's wrongs, okay? So she goes on a rampage when Taro just doesn't show up for like any of their dates ever again. She starts to hate the fact that she was born a princess, because honestly she never chose that destiny. She was born into it. She lets her pearl's power go out of control. She destroys her own kingdom. Her tail and her hair turn black. She opens the gates of what I like to call ocean hell. She awakens Gaito, which is like a villain, and a bunch of sea demons. And she creates a tsunami that kills Kaito's parents, which is Also, how the main character of the story meets Kaito. Basically, Sara's rampage is what made this whole story happen. Her impact, her influence. Also, the main villain of the story, Gaito, falls in love with Sara. By the way, Gaito is Kaito's twin brother. Okay, I'm not just saying the same name over and over. Many shenanigans and a lot of drama happens. Most of the time, Sara is shown as just like this mysterious woman who hangs around Gaito. We soon find out her story and that all of this is kind of her fault. Along the way, we find out that she's the mermaid that Taro was in love with. Taro is now a music teacher at the school that the main characters go to. He's also the crush of the Aquamarine Pearl Princess, which I did not love. You know, he never really reciprocated her feelings, so that's cool. In the end of the first season, Sara kidnaps Taro and she just keeps him in like a room in the castle. He seems to be hypnotized. Like all he does while he's there is just play the piano, or in my opinion, all he does is play the same 7 notes and same like 3 chords. Then the main characters make Sara see the error of her ways. She switches teams and her hair and clothes turn back to her original signature orange color, and she helps the main characters defeat the villain Gaito. After the final battle, as Gaito's castle is sinking into the darkest depths of the sea, Sara decides to not escape with the rest of the heroes. She decides to take responsibility for her actions. She didn't want Gaito to die alone, because in the end she did come to care for him. She and Gaito died together. And my 12-year-old self was inconsolable. Trauma. That wasn't really the last we saw of her though. The second season is about the main characters helping Sara's heir become a princess. Sara is seen as a ghost, guiding the main characters and asking them to help the new Orange Pearl Princess, which happens to be my favorite #1 character. And now it's Sara's duty to rebuild the Indian Ocean that Sara destroyed. So yeah, that is the story of a flawed woman whom I loved because of her flaws. I like how she came out. I have very minor issues with this. If you notice, I actually changed her gloves. I gave her opera gloves instead of her like frilly ones, because I think opera gloves just look a little bit more glamorous. Here is her and my drawing of Sara together. I feel like they're both drawn by a different person, which, I mean, granted, I drew this Sara 4 years ago. So I guess my style has changed a tiny bit. Whether it's for better or for worse, you can be the judge of that. I hope y'all enjoyed this speed paint with a slightly different format. Clip Studio Paint now has a time-lapse feature, so I now love it even more. Anyways, stay safe out there, get vaxxed, get boosted. Bye.